Mm.
Lola Bunny?
So there's a blue start live video.
Maybe it's a girl.
Let me see how it's.
ArtSpace is live now. I got the I got it. Did you just give us a heart?
Talk about it, I want you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it, dancing on. Feel the boogie all night long. Stoned in paradise. Shouldn't talk about it. Shouldn't talk about it. Sorry, we got music.
Oh, we got 2 viewers. The video, the audio quality is really
audio. Turn off the audio on the other phones.
That's good.
Diving deeper, deeper for you.
I think the first thing I'm gonna do once he's over is start a concert. Just missing a live show. Yeah, true. And you can support small artists that way.
I've been doing just show past concerts online. That's been really cool. For Memorial. That was pushed off till September.
I went 1 year. When I used to live in Ohio, so everybody went.
Yeah.
It was so fun. This is a cool thing, like, now that you guys know how to do this, to have a couple during a month is crazy to set up now. Have the main opening in the store and just like 2 or 3 showings during the week that are live. People from different countries, whatever.
Yeah, I was just messing around last night.
Two tabs on your tongue. I heard the shepherds, I heard the sheep sleep. Now I only one. Broken sweethearts, who sleep apart. Most of mine feel satisfied with the sweet stars. Now sure, she makes the sounds to calm me down. I am see-through, so still we are so thin. As I begin rubbing others out, your stainless and on my skin. She makes the sound singer to come down. She makes the sound steaming. I'm tired.
removed soon if you continue to broadcast music you don't have permission to use.
Oh. Okay.
So,
That's not good.
your live feed will be removed soon if you continue to broadcast music you don't have permission to use.
Well, hopefully the moderator saw that. It was like, okay,
So,
I get it. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's doing text.
Yeah.
So what music can you play?
Maybe some classical stuff. Yeah.
your live feed will be removed soon if you continue to broadcast music you don't have permission to use.
Well, hopefully the moderator saw that. It was like, okay,
So,
I get it. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So what music can you play? Maybe some classical stuff. Yeah.
your live feed will be removed soon.
Okay. I think she was more than So I wonder, like, should we write a comment in there, like, for your pleasure, this is the uncopyrighted, just to give Facebook like a heads up? I don't know.
Yeah.
They must have like a wicked.
Jams before we get started. Oh, and put in their non-copyrighted jams.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spotify.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just reading.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the format where it's supposed to be.
Right. It's not on TV. It's like me and Vinny.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna take that iPad over here on top of that. I'm gonna take this iPad and get it ready with the exact thing. And then do my little thing. I'm gonna introduce everybody and predictions and Shishens and
Shiza.
Shizen. And then what's after that? She does, I read this, and then she does this.
Yeah.
And I do this, because I started it.
That's good. A lot of the hard work was done behind the scenes, you know, like installing these track lights and
Make sure that thing isn't still there. Still. But like I put that there.
so is Georgie watching or no?
No.
Is her mom? Is that again?
It's still there. It's still playing though, so.
No copyright on the jams, but thank you.
Now is this was just there before, right?
checking. Just about it. Check that.
That's good.
Is that my phone? This one. No, this one. Yes. Yes, yes.
Oh, and I need that.
Shit's a one.
There's me chugging. Okay. Is it live?
You sent it to me too.
Is it? Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is
Okay.
camera.
Okay, welcome to ArtSpace first ever live event. It's 7:01, so we're really close to being on time. Okay, so ArtSpace is a multifaceted art studio in Chicago on the north side in a community called Logan Square. I'm a lifelong Chicagoan, and actually my grandparents were born in Chicago, so I have a long history with Chicago and a long history with art. And the question is, what's my name? So my name is Audrey, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And for those of you kind of popping in as we go forward, just say hi. Shinzen is going to respond to you, and I'm going to introduce you to everyone in a minute. So firstly, I'd like to introduce you to Jake, who was one of our volunteers today. Say hi, Jake.
Hello.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been volunteering here for a while now and enjoying the process that ArtSpace has been going through and Audrey has been going through with building her her presence here in the community, and it's been an absolute blast, and I absolutely love every moment of it.
Okay, so thank you, and now I'd like to introduce you to two other people. We're keeping a nice social distance here, so come on over, and I'm gonna let Nicole introduce herself and Shinzen.
Hi folks, I'm Nicole. I'm actually one of the art instructors here on Friday night. I teach Friday, so some of you joining us might actually know about it and have come to a class. If not, maybe you should come to a class because it's super fun. We're gonna start doing some classes online in the next week or so, so you'll be able to join me. And this lovely boy here, this is my partner Shenzhen. He's gonna be helping behind the scenes and probably saying little things to you guys in the comments and reading things aloud as you have questions. So feel free while you're doing all of this to ask us questions and participate, because all of this outside is very isolating and we want to come together. So that's what we're doing tonight, is coming together. So I hope you have your glass of wine or your beer or whatever beverage you prefer. Maybe it's a sparkling water. And I hope you enjoy the evening with us. So I'll give it back to Audrey.
Okay, so that is the lovely Nicole and the very shy Shenzhen. So I'm gonna play a short video from the artist, Georgie. And I'm just gonna hold it up to the screen so that you can see her. And I'm just gonna preface it by saying that she lives in Limerick, Ireland. And a little bit on, I'm gonna talk about how I kind of connected with her. But first I'd like to share with you her video. Can you see her?
Hi everyone, my name is Georgie and I'm the painter behind this exhibition in ArtSpace. I'm really excited to be part of this, and since I'm away, I'm in Limerick, Ireland, I thought it would be a good idea to send you a video of myself to show you the space I'm working in at home, so you can get a better idea of who I am. Now, so this is a room that I'm working on at the moment. I did work from a space in Limerick, a studio, but I left due to the whole COVID crisis. As you can imagine, here are my paints and everything. This is a poster of Freddie Mercury, you can see, and my favorite band. And painting for me really is life. I experience many things from it, happiness, sadness, anxiety, everything. And it's very closely linked with my bipolar disorder and also with everything that I've been through with my 2 pregnancies. Normally I use very bright colors, I have a very bright palette, and ones that, you know, they have a difference from each other when I place them next to each other. I don't really like subtle contrasts. And I use mainly acrylics, sometimes oil. It's more difficult to use it from home due to the fumes. And size-wise, I am okay with, if you can see here, minis, and even smaller ones. And I can use paper. Currently I'm using cardboard. So a lot of these things that you get through the post of deliveries, because here in Ireland, I don't know what it's like in America, but many shops are shut and you cannot get things through. So I'm trying to use whatever is possible so I can keep going through this thing. I really hope you enjoy.
Okay, little problem with the video, just give me a second. Okay, we'll come back to that. Technical problems as to be expected. So I just want to talk a little bit about ArtSpace. So ArtSpace, as I said, is a multifaceted art studio where we want to show emerging artists, women artists, artists of color, Chicago artists, etc., to really kind of showcase artists that otherwise may not show their work, but have such an incredible quality that it's almost sinful not to show their work. So that's my focus, is to show these works. Another focus of ArtSpace is to allow young people to learn about the art world, to learn about art instruction, to learn about the arts, and to express themselves artistically. And I'm sorry, but I have had a big old glass of wine here. So ArtSpace is not a nonprofit. We are for profit. Well, you know, how much profit we don't know yet, but so we're, like I said, we're in Chicago, Logan Square, and if tonight you see something that you're interested in, please private message me and we can discuss, you'll know the price, but we can discuss shipping and those sorts of smaller details. So I'd like to kind of jump ahead and just start with the show. And we're gonna start, Jake is gonna start by sharing with you the artwork as well as the thoughts of the artist, Georgie, who was kind enough to write about each of the pieces that she put her soul into that you're gonna see this evening. So I'm gonna turn the camera over to Shinzen, who is our cameraman for the evening. Thank you so much, Shinzen. And so you're gonna get a little dizzy as I kind of move you around here, so just hang on.
Okay, so this first piece we have here is called Set in Stone, and I'm going to read an excerpt written by the artist here. So Set in Stone is almost a heavy piece, figuratively and literally. You can see that in its imagery, there are actual rocks or stones piled on top of one another. These have to do with the weight that I felt I was carrying into my relationships. And it shows my relation to those. Generally, during these times, I was sick. My problems tended to be the ones that were spoken about and looked after. So for stone, this oil piece is going to be $280, and the size is 56 centimeters or 22 inches by 76 centimeters or 30 inches. And it is on 210 GSM cotton rag paper. So moving on from the last piece, Set in Stone. The last piece was called Set in Stone. This piece is called The Lake. And moving on from that last piece, you can see that the big parts, the stones or the rocks, are now being broken up by the blue lines or water that is coming in to wash them and to basically cleanse bad memories as such and thus allow new ones, positive ones, to come through. You will notice that the yellow in this piece is much denser than the one in Set in Stone. Almost looks like a silver in comparison. The pink in the background again signifies my new role as a mother. The second piece is left untitled by the artist. I have left this piece untitled as it is a medley of all the pieces I've done in oil on rag paper. I love the almost higgledy-piggledy nature of it. and I'm using more defined triangle shapes here. A triangle for me is a stable shape, and one that can contain a lot of different information. And again, these beautiful pieces are all on oil. They are 22 inches by 30 inches, and they go for $280 each. Okay, moving on to the next piece. This piece is titled Anthropomorph. Both the red forms in this pieces here and here are relevant to motherhood and tensions that were in my life during me being pregnant with both of my kids. I was not diagnosed at the time, and it was a push and pull between feeling happy and excited on one hand, but on the other being ill and terrified as to what kind of mother I would be to them. The blue you can see on the bottom right is the safety, the love, the calmness and peace that actually existed whenever I would take care of them. Both my kids had the ability through my illness to help me heal. This next piece is called Home. This signifies the importance of the sanctity of my home when I was getting well. The bony looking structure on the bottom right is almost the skeleton of things being left behind. Again, all these pieces are in oil on 22 inch by 30 inch canvases, going for $280. This first small painting, working with smaller canvases, is a bit like highlighting parts of a conversation. I like the way that they can appear punchy and more to the point when compared to larger works. I love the shapes of the avocados and bananas together. I feel they are both wholesome, fleshy, and symbolize fertility and life. I wanted to create this feeling of safety and abundance in this piece. This second smaller painting, I like using circular shapes in my work. They are entities on their own and can be well placed with other colors and forms. In this particular piece, the most important part for me is the blue. This one signifies water, and again, the richness of life, oxygen. This third piece is definitely a flower. For me, it is a symbol of spring and life to come, almost a talisman. It's a form that signifies the future. I've used blue again as for me it represents stability and power. This mini piece mirrors a larger collage with the strawberries and the fruit. You will notice that the bowl has the same tipping angle It also has the same color, albeit in the mini piece, the colors are more see-through and thus layered. In this work, my favorite part is the cadmium red form, which comes up and keeps the whole bowl stable, keeping it from tipping fully. This part almost signifies my family, who were always that point for me when I was reaching stability with my bipolar disorder. Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, these acrylic on canvas are at almost an inch thickness, 6 by 6 inch, and go for $150 each. Sort of like a rainbow or modified rainbow, one that is more close to reality than the typical one that we all traditionally wait for. There are no riches, no only perfect lives, but just real, strong people and happenings that create a ladder for you to keep getting stronger yourself. This last piece is about seeing clearly through the clouds. You can actually see the cadmium red form again below the blue one. And the whole clarity issue here is that you have finally seen there is support, there is love, there is a future. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing these inch thickness, 6 by 6 acrylic on canvas, very small pieces for $150 each.
So up next we have some acrylic pieces. This is our first one. This piece actually started with a baby form. You can still see a bit of its curvature in the back layer. However, I did not want that to be the main form that comes across, so I decided to easily blow up the marshmallow pink and white positive feelings of energy and love. So this is one of the acrylic pieces. It is 21.6 inches by 31 inches. It's acrylic on paper, and all of these pieces on acrylic run $220. So acrylic piece number 2. This is a tension piece. As you can see, the two black outlines sort of pressing the main bits together, almost like the insides of a body, getting them into shape and getting them to work again. The most important thing for me in this piece is that all the colors and shapes and the forms are bright, whole, and sort of vibrating off of one another. This piece is happiness, joy, and love. This is acrylic piece number 3. This piece is a journey. The oscillating lines, all of the colors, are the energetic way for me to present my stable phase. Things can be more muted, but this is a good thing. Muted arguments, muted annoyances, muted things that actually make my life better and stronger as time passes. But there is still excitement, as you can see. The hot pink and hot orange more fun, more life. The turquoise blue I decided to use here for these forms almost look like the pebbles that are stepping stones and give me a sense of security and peace. This is acrylic piece 5. This whole piece is essentially about the blue vessel. I adore this shape, and I would actually like to use it more often in my work. It gives me the sense of stability, of life, and certainty, and all things positive under the sun. When joined in this strong yellow, I can look at this piece all day and feel only strength and courage. I think these are some of the strongest form combinations and tensions that I have used, and I particularly adore the dialogue that the hot pink color is having with the yellow and the gray. This is the last of the acrylic pieces, acrylic piece 4. The stones here echo other ones in my work. However, you can see these appear to be lighter, more flexible, and with apparent flaws, as is symbolized through the lines that are not straight within them. The issue here is not to be perfect, but to be present, knowing, and intrinsically ready to do the work. Again, these are all acrylic pieces that are 21.6 inches by 31 inches. They're acrylic on paper and are running $220 each.
And I can use
So hello again, and I'd like to try one more time to share with you Georgie's beautiful message that she sent from Limerick. We did have some technical difficulties, so I'm going to try now to share it with you again. Please be patient in case we have more problems.
paper. Currently I'm using cardboard.
And that's why you don't drink wine before this.
I don't know what it's like in America, but many shops are shut and you cannot get things through. So I'm trying to use whatever is possible so I can keep going through this thing. I really hope you enjoy my work, see my works in the exhibition. I think ArtSpace is a very beautiful space. I really love what Audrey's done, the whole space, the lighting and the layout and everything. And I want to thank her for making my work look so beautiful in space. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope you have a good time. Thank you.
So, can you see me?
Yeah.
So we're going to finish up with the last two larger pieces, and Nicole's going to present them. But before we do that, I just want to go over real quick that the pieces that Jake had introduced were oil on paper. And the ones so far, yes, those are the oil on paper. Very vibrant, very intense, lots of texture and interesting looking, but they're mounted for the exhibition on stretcher bars, 2-inch by 2-inch stretcher bars, which you may or may not want to keep. That's just for the presentation of the show. So if Shinzen can just show you, you can see that they're mounted on the temporary stretcher bars. Of course, that's something that, you know, you can make those decisions when you decide where you want to put the work, if you're going to put it in a specific place and you want to have the work mounted, or framed or matted, etc. I think this was the most attractive way to present the work, was just to pull it away from the wall and have it stand out. The same with the acrylic on paper. These images, again, are mounted on the 2-inch by 2-inch stretcher bars. And this is the heavy paper, the acrylic. So again, I think that this is the best way to present the work. I think it pulls it away from the wall and makes the work the only thing that you're gonna see. That's what I think. The canvas pieces, of course, they're canvas, and I think that they stand alone. And if you're interested in any of these pieces, please private message me. I think that Georgie is interested, of course, in sharing her work with other people, especially internationally. So if you're interested, just let me know you're interested. Also, before Nicole shows you the final 2 pieces, I just want to share with you how I came into contact with Georgie and with the other artists here at ArtSpace that I've shown. And that's, I look for the artist. The artists don't look for me. And that's, I think that's kind of different, because I go out and I find the artists that their artwork speaks to me personally. And then I say, are you interested? And most of the time they say, yeah, you know, they've been really wonderful. And Georgie, being all the way in Ireland, was interesting because right when she sent me her work, you know, it was pandemic shutdown. So we got her work in right underneath that wire. It was very stressful to have that work floating in the International Postal Service at that time. But the work got here and it's mounted, and it'll be here for about a month. So if you're interested in the work, at any point, you know, you can contact me and I can send you additional pictures. We can video chat and you can see the work up close. And I'll answer any questions. Of course, I know Georgie will be happy to answer any questions that you have about her work and the motivations for it. So I'm gonna let Nicole finish with the last 2 pieces, which we felt were the jewel in the crown, so to speak, of this exhibition. They're really amazing images, really striking, really textural, really interesting images. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Nicole.
Hi again, folks. So this is collage 1. This is acrylic on paper, oil stick, permanent spray glue on gray board. This piece runs $320, and we have another artist description for you that I'm going to read now. I love drawing and painting flowers, vegetable, and fruit. They are essential, edible vessels of life as they carry seeds. I actually even grow them on my patio garden. Lilies, roses, beans, strawberries, apples. I have 2 trees in pots, nasturtiums, and more. Even if you may not see their actual depictions in my work, I have used their form somehow, either detailed or blown up. I love their shapes, the fragility, and the way they take up space. This collage is all about the flowers in the vase, along with their leaves, and the creation of a rhythm in the space they occupy. I think that art, especially still life, is a push and pull of forms and energy. I suppose that this occurs in life also. I actually really like working with collage, as it allows you to play around with a bit of the first without committing immediately like it happens with painting. I feel a little bit more free with a collage, and it's a technique I would like to delve down deeper in more. So this is collage 2. The theme of still life continues in this piece, which contains both flowers and fruits. This just all means life to me, and it's balance. The green vase at the bottom right is like a carrier of water, a sign of living. I think that for me, it also signifies abundance. I love using strong colors for such depictions, sometimes even ones that clash, as I feel that this way the piece comes alive. Still lives such as this one makes me happy, positive, and allows me to find a basis from where I can look into the future. And again, these are both collage pieces that are 24 inches by 34 inches of acrylic on paper, oil stick, permanent spray glue on gray board. And they each run $320 each.
Right now it's orange. Right now it's orange.
So we're gonna turn the music down a little bit. So I want to thank everyone for coming for the first part of our very first live experience. Thank you so much. And you know, this has been a really difficult time. Like I said, getting Georgie's work here with everything shutting down was like slipping in under the wire. So my crew is helping me. Anyway, so this is a really difficult time for everyone everywhere. This is the first time I think that there's been something this dramatic that there wasn't somewhere you could go and escape it. This is a global pandemic, and personally, we're all fine. Everybody here is fine. And I hope everyone out there is also really doing fine. But to support artists during this time is really a great thing to do. So if you enjoyed Georgie's work, you know, think about maybe making this your first investment in original fine art. Something that you would purchase from a show like this, or any other show of original artists' work. You are actually purchasing a piece of that person's soul, which they have gladly given you. So it's not like buying something at Target. It's different. and it feels different and it lasts the rest of your life, and it's something that you give to your kids, your family members, you know, as time goes by. It never diminishes in its value to you, you know, or to anyone who sees it. And Georgie has put her soul into these pieces. So if something in the show has spoken to you, come back, look at the work again, and maybe this is your time, maybe the first time that you're going to buy original artwork from a living artist. I hope that that happens for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a small pizza break, and we're gonna, I'm sorry, I'm getting whispered to, and we're going to come back for another look at the artworks, but we're gonna do it on Instagram. Now, I know Instagram and Facebook are kind of like that, but this is gonna be on Instagram. So take a break, have some pizza yourself, and come back and join us on Instagram. If you missed any of the pieces or any of the background information that Georgie has sent us, come on back and join us on Instagram. Anything that I forgot? Okay, so this is actually 6 foot difference.
Yeah, 6 foot.
It's
Can't see it.
it's a camera trick.
Fisheye lens.
Yeah, it's a camera trick, but there's actually 6 feet in the difference. Okay? So please come back and join us on Instagram with your tipple and your pizza, and we'll see you soon. Okay? We're gonna let you listen to some music and look at the artwork while we take our break.